Hello ladies, welcome to Monday's class. Sorry I'm just a couple minutes late there. I usually pride myself on being punctual, but I'm running in between clients today. So we are going to use either a band like this or the long band or a towel. We're going to be doing those pull aparts today that we have done in the past. So grab, some kind of band, doesn't matter honestly which one, or a towel. Any of that will work. I will give it a minute here for people to jump on. I know I made the post saying I was going to be a couple minutes late, but people might not be standing right by today. I'm missing my dumbbells. There's only so many places they can go. That's weird. I bet the kids were in here and took them. I do have a backup set, but let's see. Right. Oh, I see them. That's all right, I got these out now. All right, so let's get into it. We'll do our usual warm up here first. So feet are hip distance apart, toes pointing straight forward. Reach down, up, tip, and twist. Okay, come nice and wide. Same reaches. Okay, all the way narrow. Okay, come back to hip distance apart. Externally rotate the toes. And internally rotate the toes. Perfect. All right, so first group here, first exercise. I'm going to go with my medium dumbbells, light to mediums. I would suggest for these. There is going to be like an overhead press component of it. So it's a deadlift. So remember that, push your hips back with a nice flat back. Okay, so deadlift, hammer curl, press overhead. Bring it all the way down, all the way up. All right, here we go, 12 reps. And 12. Perfect. All right, so we're going to do our pull aparts. So if you have a band like this, you're just going to hold it out like that, do your pull aparts. If you have your loop band, just put it around your wrists, do your pull aparts like that. Or your towel, of course, you just hold it palms down, straight arms out in front, pull it open and squeeze. Okay, so choose whatever option you like best, whatever you got. The main thing is your arms are straight out in front of you and your palms are down. All right, chest height. Open out. And then I'm going back to my medium dumbbells. You might be able to go heavy on this one, depending on your energy today. We're going to come down into kind of the bottom of that deadlift position. palms are back towards our body today, so just a traditional bent over row. So pull it up to kind of where you wear your belt buckle. And 12. Perfect. All right, so that is our first circuit. So take your little sip of water. All right, back to our deadlift, hammer curl, shoulder press. So deadlift, curl, press. And 12. All right, get rid of those. Get your band. We'll do our pull aparts. All right, so chest tight, straight arms, palms down. Pull it open. Squeeze between those shoulder blades. 12. All right, so we got our bent over row. All right, so hinge down, bottom of that kind of deadlift position, and pull. Again, squeeze between those shoulder blades. Perfect. All right, that's round 2. Take another quick breather. Alrighty, here we go. Round 3, same stuff, 3rd time. Let's get it. And 12. All right. Pull aparts last time. All right, palms down. Open up. And 12. All right, and the bent over row. Last one in this circuit. All right, drop down, back, nice and good posture. And 12. All right, perfect. Take a little breather. Pretty much same equipment for the next group. We're going to do the other version of the pull apart, so we still need our band or towel. All right, so I'll give you a couple little versions of this first exercise. So we've been doing it for a while now, weighted, unweighted, with curls, without. But today we're going to do that single leg hip hinge. Okay, so if you're a beginner, your balance is off, you can stick to just body weight, maybe even holding on to something very gently. If you are more advanced, you've been doing the more advanced versions, you're going to do still body weight. You're going to hinge down, but now you're going to give a little bit of a hop. So it's not so much how high you're coming off the floor or anything. It's more about just powering up and then regaining that balance after the hop takes you off balance. All right, so hinge forward and then hop, hinge, hop. Anywhere between 8 and 12 is great for this exercise. All right, so once you finish your reps, switch to the other leg. Picking one point to look at is always good. I just threw my balance off. And 12. All right, getting our bands again, or towel, whatever you used last time for your pull aparts. But this time we're going palms up, elbows tucked in, and then open out like that. Still same motion, squeezing between your shoulder blades, but slightly different on the shoulder joint. And 12. All right, hanging up the band, getting those same dumbbells I had before. And we're going to do the Zotman curl. So that's a regular curl on the way up, palms up. But then once you're up there, rotate your wrists and come down. Okay, so elbows stay tucked in, curl, rotate, and down. All right, that's we're on one of those. A little water break. All right, back to our balance. I'm going to do my harder side first here. See if I can stay focused longer on this side. So hinge forward. If you got it in you, give the hop at the top. And 12. All right, right leg. And 12. All right, jumping again, get your heart rate up. All right, 90-degree angle in the elbows, palms up, elbows by your sides, chest out, pull apart. Zuckman girls dumbbells. Okay, palms up as you come up. Squeeze those biceps. Flip it over. Slowly come down. And 12. All right, 2 down. A little water break. All right, what am I gonna do? Let's do the hard one first. Get it done. They're both kind of hard today. All right, that was better. Things are waking up. 11 and 12. All right, so we got our palms up, elbows tucked in, pull apart. Focus on squeezing those shoulder blades. Not a real big range of motion here. And 12. All right. And the Zuckmans. Here we go. Seven. 9. 10. 11. 12. All right, that is it for those. All right, take a little breather. Let's see, we don't need any equipment on the floor. We are going to come down to the mat today, but no equipment needed. All right, so we're going to go our good old swimmers for the first one. Great posture exercise. Love to do some kind of version of this on our pull days. All right, so arms right over your head. This is the one where you go opposite sides, alternating. So right arm, left leg, and vice versa. Then we're going to roll to our side, and we're going to do those clamshells. So today we're going to do them with manual pressure. Even if you do have a band, I'm still going to suggest doing the manual so you can give yourself just the right amount of tension. So what that means is you use your hand on top of your leg. You're going to open up into the clamshell, but as I'm opening my leg up, my hand is pushing back, giving me resistance, okay? Really try to focus on your butt muscle back here, doing all the work. And then even as you're going down, your hand is still pushing down. Your leg has to kind of resist it on the way down as well, okay? So your hand is doing work on both directions. All right, so open up and close. Make sure your hips are stacked on top of each other. No rolling forward or backwards. Feet stay together. Good, all right, and then before we roll over to the second exercise here on our side, we're gonna do the same thing with our manual tension, and then we're just gonna lift up like this and down. So we're not coming all the way up in the air. If you go all the way up there, it kind of takes the pressure off the muscles. So you're only going up about maybe a quarter, halfway up. Keep the tension there on the outside part of your hip. Pushing down with your hand. Okay, flip over sides. We got the clamshell first, so the bent knees. Okay, so your shoulders, your hips, and your feet are all in one straight line. Your knees are coming out forward. Open up. Okay, straighten out that top leg, bottom leg can stay bent, go straight, whatever feels comfortable, as long as those hips are still stacked on top of each other. And then lift. You also want to think about keeping your toes straight ahead. Don't let your toes rotate up or well, down is not so bad, I guess, but definitely not up. And 12. Whew, that one burns. All right, take a little break. And we're flipping over again for our swimmers. All right, right arm, left leg, vice versa. All right, roll over to the side again. Get those clams. All right, so hand on the thigh, push down. Give yourself as much tension as the body can take there. Okay, straightening out, top leg, and lift. And 12. Whew. Okay, other side. 12. Straight leg. Oh, can't straighten that there. 12. Whew. All right. Take a couple seconds breather and then we're back to the belly. Last round. All right, here we go. Wow. All right, roll over. Lots of rolling around this group. Okay, clamshell first. Get your hand and go. Okay, straight leg. My muscles are dying out here. I need a little less tension, I think. That's the good thing about the manual resistance. You can play with it a bit. And 12. Whew, those hips gonna feel it tomorrow. Okay, clamshell. All right, and the straight leg. $11, $12. Whew. All right, come on up. That is 3 rounds, so come on up for our usual stretches. All right, legs out in front, fold it over. Okay, bring your feet in, bottoms of your feet touch, knees fall open. Hips are still burning. Definitely gave more tension than the band usually does. Okay, 90-90. Okay, switch over to the other side. Excellent. Sit back into child's pose. Okay, so back on your heels, walk your hands up. All right, up to all fours and arch your back up like a cat. Drop it down. to half kneel. Whatever knee is on the floor, that's your up and over arm. Okay, switching. Okay, come up from the floor, find somewhere to hold on, pull that leg up. Okay, other side. All right, and grab your hands behind your back. Pull those shoulders back. Make the neck nice and long. All right, that's it. Excellent work. Wednesday should be here. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.